Have you ever walked into a supplement store and felt overwhelmed by the shelves stacked with powders, tubs, and bottles, each one claiming to be the ultimate secret to muscle growth? If so, you've probably noticed one name that shows up almost everywhere: creatine. With more than 1,000 studies backing it, creatine isn't just another fitness fad. It's one of the most researched, most effective, and safest supplements you can take. Yet, despite all the science, there's still a lot of confusion about how to use it properly. And that's where most people end up wasting money. By the end of this deep dive, you'll know exactly what creatine is, how it works, and the 4 simple steps you can follow to maximize its benefits without falling for marketing tricks or hype. So let's start with the basics. Creatine is a natural compound that your body already produces in small amounts. Most of it is stored in your muscles, where it acts like a battery during short, explosive bursts of energy. Think about a heavy set of squats, a quick sprint, or even an intense jump. Those first 10 seconds of effort, that's where creatine shines. When you supplement with creatine, you increase your natural stores by about 20 to 30%. That means your muscles can push harder, recover faster, and repeat explosive efforts more effectively. Over time, that translates into more strength and more muscle growth. Hundreds of studies confirm this. Athletes in powerlifting, sprinting, football, swimming, and countless other sports have seen measurable improvements in strength and performance thanks to creatine. And here's the key: it's safe, it's legal, and it works. But here's the first mistake people make: choosing the wrong type. Walk into any store and you'll see creatine hydrochloride, buffered creatine, creatine nitrate, creatine ethyl ester, and a dozen other versions. Each one claims to absorb better or deliver extra benefits. But the truth, none of them outperform plain old creatine monohydrate. A 2021 review compared 8 different types of creatine and found they all worked equally well. The only real difference was cost. Creatine monohydrate was the cheapest by far, while some of the others were nearly 8 times more expensive. Companies push them because it sounds fancy and lets them charge more. But the science is clear: plain monohydrate is all you need. So if the label says creatine monohydrate as the only ingredient, you've got the right one. Now let's talk about dosing. Most tubs come with a scoop that holds about 5 grams, and a lot of people just take 1 scoop every day. But studies show you don't actually need that much. For most people, 3 grams a day is enough to saturate your muscles and maintain that saturation long term. Anything beyond that is usually just wasted. In fact, if you break it down by body weight, the sweet spot is about 0.03 grams per kilogram per day. For a 170-pound person, that's only about 2.3 grams daily. So if you've been taking 5 grams, you're likely overshooting. That doesn't mean it's unsafe, but it does mean you're running through your tub twice as fast. Here's the smarter move: stick with 3 grams a day. If you're heavier, go a little higher. If you're lighter, you can take a little less. This way your tub lasts longer, you save money, and you still get the full benefits. The next big question is whether or not to load creatine. When you start taking it, your muscles don't instantly fill up. It takes time for them to fully saturate. And there are 2 ways to get there. The first is the loading phase. This means taking about 20 grams a day, split into 4 doses of 5 grams each for 1 week. After that, you drop down to the maintenance dose of 3 grams per day. This method saturates your muscles faster, so you start feeling the benefits in about a week. The second option is the steady approach. You just take 3 grams per day from the start. It takes longer, usually 3 to 4 weeks, but you end up at the same place without ever needing to mega dose. So which should you choose? It depends. If you're in a rush, maybe starting a new training cycle or dieting, and want your body weight to stabilize quickly, loading makes sense. If you prefer simplicity, just go steady and wait a few weeks. Either way, you'll get to the same result. The only downside of loading is that some people feel stomach discomfort at higher doses, but splitting the daily amount into smaller servings usually fixes that. Now, let's talk about timing, because this is another area where people get tripped up. Creatine doesn't work instantly. It's not like caffeine where you feel a jolt of energy right after taking it. Instead, it builds up in your muscles over time. That means the exact time of day you take it doesn't matter nearly as much as just taking it consistently. Some studies suggest that taking creatine with carbs and protein might improve absorption slightly during the early stages, so mixing it with a post-workout meal can be a small bonus. But in the long run, the difference is minimal. The key is simply making it part of your daily routine. One thing to be mindful of is caffeine. Some research shows that heavy daily caffeine intake, around 2 or 3 cups of coffee, might reduce the benefits of creatine. The science isn't completely settled, but if you're worried, a simple fix is to avoid taking creatine and caffeine at the exact same time. Or save caffeine for days when you really need the boost, instead of using it every single day. Now, let's bust a few myths. First, creatine is not a steroid. It's a natural compound found in foods like meat and fish, and your body makes it too. Second, creatine does not damage your kidneys or liver if you're healthy. Long-term studies show it's safe, even after years of consistent use. Third, creatine doesn't cause bloating in the way most people think. It pulls water into your muscles, not under your skin, which actually makes your muscles look fuller, not puffy. And finally, you don't need to cycle creatine. There's no evidence cycling helps. You can take it daily, year-round with no issues. So let's wrap this all up. Creatine is one of the most effective, safe, and affordable supplements you can take to boost strength and muscle growth. To maximize it, follow these 4 rules. First, stick with creatine monohydrate. No gimmicks, no overpriced blends. Second, aim for about 3 grams a day, maybe a little more if you're heavier. Third, choose whether to load or not. Both methods work, it just depends on how quickly you want results. And fourth, take it consistently every day. Timing isn't critical, but pairing it with food can help, and try not to combine it directly with heavy caffeine intake. Creatine won't do the work for you, but when you pair it with smart training and proper nutrition, it gives you that extra edge. And over months and years of consistent effort, that edge adds up. So the next time you're staring at those supplement shelves, you'll know the truth. Skip the fancy labels, save your money, and stick with what's been proven time and time again. Creatine works. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more science-backed fitness content. And let me know in the comments, are you already taking creatine, or are you planning to give it a try? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.